Hey there. This is part two of Amazon shopping tips. Now, I know that a lot of people enjoyed the first one because they felt that it helped. And I will just tell you that these are my personal experiences that I've learned. And I want to share these with you because I think that it will help you maybe so that you don't fall into these snafus in the future when you need to shop online. The first thing I think you should note is when you make changes. So you put something in your cart. Let's say it's a white tablecloth, and you think to yourself later on, wait a minute, I think I want to get a gray tablecloth. So let me go back into my cart, click on the item, and change it to gray. Now, you may have wanted the white one because it was a lightning deal, or it was a Prime Day deal, or it was on sale. So you think, okay, well, I'm going to get the gray one instead. Make sure that you're always reading down the description of that item that you have now changed. So whether you change the size of something or the color of something, always make sure that the price is what you want to pay, because sometimes the pricing changes according to colors and different things. Maybe there's more, some colors are more popular, some things are, maybe there's less of a supply. So you want to always check that when you change your item. And following on changing your item, make sure that the price, or I should say the sale price, is enough of a sale. Why do I say that? Well, there was one time that I ordered something and I saw that it was a on lightning deal, and I was like, great. So I clicked on it, put it in my cart. Later on, I said, wait a minute, you know what? I think I'm going to look to see how much I saved. So I went to look at the original price, and guess what? The original price was 1 cent more. Yeah. So I saved 1 cent, 1 penny. And it's funny because I never really thought to look at the original price of something when something's on sale, because I always think, well, it's on sale. So I say that, hey, if you want to save a penny, great. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that make sure that you look at the original price, because sometimes it's a huge deal and sometimes it may be just a few pennies, and maybe you're willing to wait for a bigger sale than that, right? Another tip I have is, where are you saving your item in your cart? Are you saving it on your phone or are you saving it on your laptop? Because if you save it on your phone and later on you pick it up on your laptop, note that sometimes your devices aren't synced. So what you may have put in one thing, one device may not have carried over to the other device. And maybe if you add something in the other device, it doesn't carry back to the first device. So you always want to make sure that when you're checking out, that all the items in your cart are what you want. So that's another thing, is that you have to make sure that your devices are syncing, or at least that the items in your cart are everything that you want. The third thing I want to say is, sometimes when there is that little tagline or line that says report issue to seller, I had mentioned in my first video that if this is a thing, if this language appears under the description, then at least you have somebody that you can contact, right? If something goes wrong or if there's an issue. Well, I have to tell you that that is not always the case. Even though it says report issue to seller, it's up to the seller, what kind of person the seller is, if they want to even try to help you or resolve something. Because I had ordered something in a certain color and it came in a different color. So I returned it and I said, hey, to the seller, I said, this is the wrong color. Can you send me the right color? In the meantime, I'll send back the wrong color. And I never heard back. So I said, I'll just give benefit of the doubt and I'll just reorder it in the color that I want. I did it again, and guess what? I still got the wrong color. So sometimes, even though it says report issue to seller, It doesn't always mean that the seller is going to do the right thing or that they're always going to respond. It's just that, you know, it's up to whether the seller wants to do anything or not. So it's not, a fix all for everything. It's just, I noticed that contacting the seller doesn't always work. It doesn't always resolve anything. Sometimes they don't even respond, which is what happened in my case. So that's not really a good thing, right? The last thing I want to talk about is when you change an item to a different color, just make sure that the fabrication of the textile is what you want. You may have ordered originally a pair of gray curtains that are 100% rayon. Maybe when you changed it to another color, green, now the fabrication is a different content, maybe 80% rayon and 20% acetate. So you want to also keep checking the description to make sure that you have exactly what you want. I hope these tips help.